Late at night, the subway station was deserted, its silence broken only by the distant echo of an approaching train. Sarah, a tired commuter, boarded the last train home. As the doors slid shut, she felt a sudden chill. The carriage was eerily empty, or so she thought. The train lurched forward, and the fluorescent lights flickered. When they steadied, Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Across from her sat a group of passengers clad in outdated 1920s attire, their faces pale and eyes hollow. They whispered among themselves, oblivious to Sarah's presence. Panic surged through her veins. She squeezed her eyes shut, willing them to vanish. But when she opened them, they were still there, staring now with an intensity that made her skin crawl. The train stopped unexpectedly, and the intercom crackled before a soft, mournful voice announced, "Next stop, nowhere." Sarah's heart pounded as the doors opened to reveal nothing but a dark tunnel. Suddenly, the ghostly passengers rose, their whispers growing into a cacophony of anguish. In a desperate attempt to escape, Sarah dashed out, only to find herself back at the same platform she had boarded, her watch indicating no time had passed. The train sped away, its spectral passengers forever trapped on their endless journey. Under the eerie glow of a blood-red moon, a group of friends stumbled upon a desolate carnival hidden in the woods. Once a place of joy, it now lay in decay, its rides rusting, its tents tattered. Against their better judgment, they decided to explore. As they ventured deeper, a chilling breeze whispered through the air, carrying the faint echo of distant laughter. An ominous sense of being watched settled over them. They wandered past the crumbling carousel, its horses frozen mid-gallop, and approached the funhouse. A faded banner above its entrance read, "Enter if you dare." Inside, mirrors lined the walls, distorting their reflections into grotesque forms that danced in the dim light. Suddenly, the air grew cold, their breaths visible in the gloom. Shadows flitted across the mirrors, and the laughter grew louder, now sinister and mocking. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. The spirits of the past, awakened by their intrusion, demanded retribution. Desperate to escape, they raced towards the exit, but the funhouse twisted upon itself, trapping them in a maze of terror. Just as despair took hold, one friend found an emergency exit, and they burst into the open air. But the moonlight revealed the truth. They were back at the entrance, forever bound in the carnival's cursed loop, the spirit's vengeance complete. It was whispered about, the old bell tower at the edge of town, a relic from the 1800s that had stood silent for decades. Locals spoke of a bell that once tolled on its own, often at midnight. But now, not a sound escaped it. Intrigued by the legend, Marcus, a history enthusiast, decided to explore the tower one foggy evening. The air was thick with an unnatural hush as he approached, the mist curling around the stone like spectral fingers. Inside, dust cloaked everything in a gray shroud. Marcus climbed the spiral staircase, each creak echoing through the emptiness. At the top, he found the massive, rusted bell, frozen in time. As he examined it, he noticed something peculiar, a small trap door beneath the bell. Curiosity piqued. Marcus opened it, revealing an inscription, "Never ring alone." Ignoring the warning, he gave the bell a gentle nudge. The toll was deep, resonant, filling the tower with an ancient, mournful sound. Suddenly, shadows flickered in the corners of his vision. Marcus turned, heart pounding, but saw nothing. The air grew cold, and the shadows solidified into figures. Men, women, children, all with eyes hollow and accusing. Panicked, Marcus stumbled back, but the figures closed in, whispering in a chorus of lost souls. The last thing he heard was the bell's echoing chime, now louder, as if the tower itself had joined the spectral assembly. His screams were swallowed by the silence that followed, leaving only the eerie stillness of the bell tower. In the dimly lit attic of her grandmother's house, Emma stumbled upon an old, dusty photograph album, its leather cover cracked and worn by time. Curiosity piqued, she opened it to find sepia-toned pictures of her ancestors, their eyes seemingly following her every move. As she flipped through the pages, she noticed something peculiar. Each photograph had a subtle but unsettling detail, an ominous shadow lurking behind each person, growing darker with each turned page. Late that night, Emma awoke to a faint whispering echoing through the corridors. The air around her grew icy cold. The shadows in the photographs appeared to come alive, creeping out of the pages, stretching across the walls, and encircling her. Panic-stricken, she hurled the album into the fireplace, but the flames flickered and died, as if smothered by an unseen force. Desperate, she ran to the attic, hoping to escape the nightmare. But as she reached for the door, the shadows engulfed her, pulling her into the album's pages. The next morning, her family found the photograph album innocuously closed on the attic floor, with one new image, a shadowy figure in the background, resembling Emma, trapped forever within the cursed pages.